Have you ever wondered what the perfect society would look like? What if there was a world where everyone had a role they were truly meant for, and justice wasn't just an idea, but a way of life? To find that vision, we must go back over 2,000 years, to ancient Greece, to one of the greatest thinkers in history, Plato. Plato wasn't just a philosopher. He was a dreamer of order, justice, and truth. Born in Athens around 427 BC, Plato was a student of Socrates and later the teacher of Aristotle. His thoughts about politics weren't based on speeches or campaigns. Instead, they were rooted in reason and philosophy, the search for what's truly good and just. After seeing Athens fall into political chaos and his beloved teacher Socrates executed by the state, Plato became deeply disillusioned with democracy. He believed that giving power to everyone, regardless of wisdom or virtue, was dangerous. From this disappointment, he began imagining a system that could rise above human corruption. A government ruled not by wealth, birth, or majority opinion, but by philosophers. His masterpiece, The Republic, explores this vision in depth. It's not just a political book. It's a blueprint for an ideal society and a reflection on the human soul. So let's dive in. What was Plato's political philosophy really about? Plato's political philosophy begins with a single question: what is justice? To answer this, he builds an entire imaginary city called Callipolis, or the beautiful city. In The Republic, Plato explains that justice isn't just about punishing the wicked or rewarding the good. It's about everyone doing the job they are naturally best suited for. He compares society to the human body. The head rules, the heart defends, and the stomach provides. Each part has a function, and harmony comes when every part does its job properly. In the same way, Plato divides society into three classes: rulers, philosopher-kings, guided by wisdom and reason; guardians, soldiers, driven by courage and spirit; producers, farmers, artisans, workers, motivated by desire and necessity. Justice, he says, happens when all three classes perform their roles in balance. When rulers rule wisely, guardians protect bravely, and producers work honestly. Injustice, on the other hand, arises when these roles are mixed or confused, when greed, ambition, or ignorance disrupts harmony. This idea of balance reflects Plato's view of human nature itself. Just as society has three parts, so does the soul: reason, spirit, and desire. A just person is one whose reason governs their passions and instincts. For Plato, the health of the soul and the health of the city are deeply connected. A corrupt city mirrors a corrupt soul. Therefore, if we want a just state, we must first cultivate just individuals. Perhaps the most famous part of Plato's political thought is the idea of the philosopher-king. He believed that only true philosophers, people who love wisdom and seek truth, are fit to rule. Why? Because most people, Plato argued, see only shadows of truth. In his famous allegory of the cave, he describes humanity as prisoners chained inside a dark cave, mistaking shadows on the wall for reality. Only the philosopher escapes, sees the sunlight of truth, and understands what is real. But once enlightened, the philosopher's duty is not to stay in the light, but to return to the cave, to guide others and rule with wisdom. That's what makes a philosopher king. To Plato, politics wasn't about winning power. It was about serving truth. The philosopher king doesn't seek wealth or fame. He rules because it is his duty, not his desire. He is the bridge between knowledge and governance. This idea challenges the foundations of modern democracy, where power often belongs to those who can persuade, not necessarily those who know best. Plato's vision may sound idealistic, even impossible, but it forces us to ask an important question: should leadership be based on popularity or wisdom? Plato understood that a just society couldn't exist without the right education. He proposed a strict educational system to train citizens according to their natural abilities. From childhood, people would be tested and observed. Those with wisdom and self-control would be trained to become rulers, while others would serve as soldiers or producers. He also believed in moral censorship, controlling the kind of stories, music, and art that people consume. Plato thought that bad art could corrupt the soul, while good art could nurture virtue. Interestingly, Plato was far ahead of his time in one aspect. He believed that women could be rulers or soldiers if they possessed the same abilities as men. In his ideal state, talent and virtue matter more than gender or birth. His ideas about education and equality were revolutionary for his era, though his vision of censorship and rigid control also shows how much he valued order and stability over freedom. Plato's political philosophy has inspired thinkers for centuries, but it has also faced criticism. His idea of philosopher-kings has been called elitist and utopian. Critics like Karl Popper argued that Plato's vision laid the foundation for totalitarian thinking, a world where the state controls every aspect of life. Even Aristotle, his own student, disagreed with many of his ideas. Aristotle believed Plato's state was too ideal and ignored the practical realities of human nature. Yet despite criticism, Plato's ideas remain timeless. His belief that leaders should be wise and virtuous still resonates today. His questions about justice, morality, and the purpose of government are as relevant in modern politics as they were in ancient Athens. From the city-state to the modern nation, Plato's dream continues to challenge us. Can we ever build a society ruled by wisdom and justice rather than power and greed? Plato's political philosophy isn't just about government. It's about the human condition. His vision of justice begins within us and extends outward into society. The more balanced and rational we become as individuals, the more just our communities can be. In the end, Plato wasn't just describing an ideal state. He was describing an ideal soul, one guided by reason, courage, and harmony. More than 2,000 years later, the world still struggles with corruption, ignorance, and inequality. But Plato's ideas remind us that philosophy and politics must walk hand in hand. A just world begins not with laws or systems, but with wisdom in the hearts of people. As long as we continue to ask, "What is justice?" Plato's spirit lives on.